Have you checked your bank account balance recently? It is payday. You stand in line at the ATM. You see numbers like 200,000 or 300,000 yen. You think, I worked hard? That is a normal thought. But in this country, there are people who live holding their breath, relying on a price tag for life that is transferred into their account only once every 2 months. The transfer amount is 130,500 yen. This is for 2 months. That means the money available for 1 month is only 66 or 250 yen. This is not pocket money. This is everything. Rent, utilities, food. It is the total sum of their existence. Today I will tell you the story of a man living on the edge of survival, relying solely on the disability basic pension. About 66,000 yen a month, we will look at his limit-pushing household budget and his lonely, silent daily life. Our protagonist is Kenji. He is 34 years old. He wasn't always poor. Originally, he was a serious, hard-working salaryman. He woke up at 7 a.m., rode the crowded train, and enjoyed watching movies on weekends. He was an ordinary young man. But one day, suddenly, the thread snapped. He couldn't get out of bed. Tears wouldn't stop flowing. Standing on the train platform, he felt a sudden urge to let himself be pulled onto the tracks. The diagnosis was depression. He took a leave of absence, but eventually had to resign. He was ejected from the rails of society, unable to work. The only lifeline left for him was the disability pension. Let's look at Kenji's life for 1 month. From here on, it is a life of subtraction that is terrifying just to calculate. Income 66,250 yen. First, the fixed cost that can never be eliminated. Rent. Kenji lives in a wooden apartment built 40 years ago, 1 single room, no bath. The toilet is shared. The walls are thin. He can hear the neighbor coughing. But rent is 29,000 yen. This is the absolute limit. Remaining balance 37,250 yen. Next, utilities. This is a matter of life and death electricity. In the summer, he survives with just a fan. But in the winter, heating is essential. Average is 4,000 yen. Gas, he has no bath, so he didn't sign a contract. He uses a portable camping stove, cost 1,000 yen. Here, imagine a life with no bath. The hell is in the winter? He cannot afford the 480 yen for a public bathhouse. So he uses the kitchen sink with freezing cold water to wash his hair. Imagine the misery bending over a greasy kitchen sink, desperately washing your hair with ice-cold water. He says his fingertips go numb and tears come out. Not from the cold, but from the sheer patheticness of his situation. Water bill 2,000 yen. Communication costs. Without this, he is cut off from society budget. SIM card 1,500 yen. There is no internet line in his house. He relies on free Wi-Fi spots in the city. Total fixed costs 37,500 yen. The money left in his hand for food, daily necessities, medical fees. How much do you think it is? It is only 28,750 yen. Converted to a daily amount, it is about 950 yen. You might think with 1,000 yen I can eat at a beef bowl shop. But you are naive. There is a trap here. What if he runs out of toilet paper? What if he catches a cold? What if his shoes get a hole? All of those things must be paid for from this money. Therefore, the actual food budget is limited to 500 yen a day. Kenji's meals are closer to feed. Breakfast. He doesn't eat. He sleeps to distract himself from hunger. Lunch udon noodles, 5 packs for 100 yen boiled with soy sauce. No toppings. Maybe some bean sprouts if he's lucky. Dinner. He aims for the half-price stickers at the supermarket. He wanders the aisles, pretending to look at shelves. But his eyes are fixed on the staff with the sticker machine. He is not the only one waiting. It is a silent battle for survival. When he finally gets a discounted rice ball, he feels a mix of relief and shame. He eats it slowly, bit by bit. Nutritional balance? If he thought about that, he would go bankrupt. Filling his stomach with carbohydrates is the only strategy for survival. The price of this lifestyle shows on his body due to lack of vitamins. He constantly has mouth ulcers and chronic fatigue. He looks 10 years older than his actual age. What Kenji fears the most is unexpected expenses. One winter day, the heater in Kenji's room broke to buy a new one. It costs at least 3,000 yen for him. That is 6 days worth of food. He agonized over the choice: freeze or starve. In the end, he bought a used blanket for 500 yen and chose to spend the days shivering under the covers, cold hungry. These two sensations dominate his life, and there is another suffering loss. In the months where money is short, he sold his precious belongings. The brand name watch from his salaryman days. His acoustic guitar, that was his hobby. At the recycle shop counter, the clerk didn't look at him. He just typed a number and slid the cash across the tray. It was cold and transactional every time he lets them go. He feels his past self dying. I can never go back to that world again. Invitations from friends? Let's go for a drink. He refused them all. Spending 3,000 yen at a pub is a death sentence. Social connections snapped one by one. Now he spends days without speaking to anyone, counting stains on the ceiling, fearing he might forget how to use his voice. Sometimes he goes to the city. He sees people drinking coffee at cafes for 500 yen. 500 yen. That is my food budget for the entire day. That one cup is my lifeline for 24 hours. When he thinks that he feels crushed. Am I not a human being? Am I just mud settled at the bottom of society? Disability pension is a right, but the reality is harsh. There is no rent subsidy. Welfare conditions are strict. Can't you rely on relatives? He is terrified of being pressured at the office, so he hesitates to apply. Kenji says, the hardest part is not seeing a future. Next month, next year, 10 years from now, this life will continue. If one thing goes wrong, it's over. I fight that fear every day. There is a day when he indulges in luxury pension payday. He goes to the convenience store, buys a chicken nanban bento and a beer, total 800 yen. Back in his room, he drinks the cold beer, eats the warm bento, the taste of meat and white rice. Only in that moment he returns to being a human. I'm glad I'm alive, but seeing the empty container, reality attacks again. I used the money. I have to cut back tomorrow. Happiness turns into guilt. Do you think this is self-responsibility? He should try harder. But remember, Kenji was working just like you, paying taxes. Illness comes suddenly. It could be an accident or depression. Anyone has the possibility of falling into this life tomorrow. 66,000 yen a month, it is not just a number. It is the price of human dignity, holding on by a thread. If you became unable to work tomorrow, how long would your savings last? Do you have the confidence to live alone without social connections? After watching this video, when you drink a glass of water or eat a warm meal, I hope you feel how grateful those things are. Thank you for listening. This is not a distant story. This is a reality that might be happening in the room right next to yours.